Daredevil. That'll cheer us up.
You know what really sucks about laughing this hard when you got headphones on is your ears are just going nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I
When
don't.
you wear the over-the-head ones. But anyway, let's talk about
Daredevil.
show that we were watching. Daredevil, Born Again, episode 3. Season 1, episode 3.
So,
interesting episode.
Can we?
This is,
yeah.
Yeah, this is kind
Courtroom
of
drama.
Yeah, this is leaning back into kind of what they've done throughout the show, which is like also showing Matt as a lawyer. And honestly,
Season 1 did it a lot more than any other.
Season 1 does it. Season 2 does it with Punisher's trial a little bit, and then but Season 3 he's not really back in the courtroom. So this So this is him full blower being a lawyer without being Daredevil again. And, you know, obviously the theme of this season is both Kingpin and Daredevil are not going to get over their violent natures, and they're going to just have to fight each other. Like, they're just going to have to kill each other. And it's like, Kingpin has to die at the end of this. I don't know if he'll die at the end of this season, but, like how they have to kill each other at some point because you can't keep doing this, right?
That's what I'm saying. Like, comic book lovers have got to understand. And this has taken me a little while to kind of get past because it sucks. But you can have a comic character not age for 50, 60 years.
And act like it's 5 years in continuity. That's what they do all the time.
You can't do that with movies and TV. And Charlie Cox is already pretty old. I mean, he's not old, but he's older. His age is up to a point where you're wondering, is he able to? Yeah, obviously, he's in great shape.
He's in his late 30s, I'm pretty sure.
No, he was in his late 30s when the first show happened.
Yeah, right.
So he's like late 40s.
Because he was talking about when he would be like when he was coming up in England, he was coming up with like Andrew Garfield and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, he's in that little bit older crowd. Yeah. He looks great for his age.
He keeps himself in great shape. So I mean, you give me 2-3 seasons of this show and like a movie, which apparently Secret Wars, we're guessing.
Yeah.
Well,
I think he'll play a big.
At some point, you have to recast these people, and it sucks, but because he's done better than anybody, and who else would you get? But these are questions we don't need to ask ourselves right now. What we need to ask ourselves right now is, why the fuck does Matt Murdock think it's okay to just fucking out another superhero because he's not superheroing? Well, it's the only way to save you. Fuck you, Matt. Can we talk about that? Can we talk about how much of a dick Matt Murdock is, really?
What? You know what? You know what Matt felt like after the case?
Stick around.
Oh, no, not that.
Good fucking Lord.
Am I the Messiah? I don't know. I could be. I'm not ruling it out.
That's how he's acting at the end of this episode. But so, yeah, this whole episode is pretty much Daredevil or Matt on trial with White Tiger, which again, I got to talk about that too, where you were mentioning in the other episodes of like, he literally just said in a serious setting of like, he didn't have his cloak or amulet, and
he says it again.
It comes
How
up,
can you say that he didn't have his amulet? I mean, the jury's fucking laughing at you at that point. Like, what?
Yeah. But in this world, at this point, after post-Endgame and everything, it makes sense.
We talked about it, yeah. Nothing is really sacred anymore.
Nobody in the MCU would be that thrown off by him saying that sentence because it's just commonplace.
I want to hang out with somebody from the MCU, like a real person from the MCU.
That'd be fun.
Because I'll bet you they're the most cynical motherfuckers.
Could you imagine insurance in that fucking universe?
That's why.
Awful.
Yeah, the economy of the world would pretty much collapse.
So, yeah, this was interesting because it was definitely going to lean. There's a lot of what I did like about this episode was a lot of like little bait and switch twists, like the twist of the whole story of his what's his investigator's name? I can't remember.
Jerry.
Cherry. That whole thing where that bait and switch where you think the cops are getting him.
Yeah.
Because the guy's on the stand. And
then he ends up fucking
because the
going
scene
back on his
prior,
testimony
Matt had said
anyway.
like, "Hey, I have this star witness that says there was another person there, like that. It doesn't corroborate your story," and so he can feel his heartbeat change and shit like that. So he knows this guy's gonna, be guilty. So he's the one who tries to get Cherry because he knows that Cherry works with Matt, and he's gonna have the witness. And you think he gets him, but he doesn't. But then this is okay. This is the moment where I have my prediction, and I'll let you have the floor first. But there's the moment where they bring in the witness, but he doesn't. He just says, I wasn't there, and lies.
Yeah.
And that moment, I thought, this is where Matt loses the trial. And that's what pushes him further to violence. And then I thought he loses the trial and he beats the shit out of that cop.
I didn't see that happening. What I thought would happen was, because I don't know, you can kind of tell like the rhythm of shows. Even if you're watching it, and a lot of these shows, if you're really into it, like you're not aware of when it ends and it cuts, you have to wait till the next episode. You're never really ready for it. But I could kind of tell. I thought that it would go further than that, at least. So I wasn't really thinking that, but I was really, really upset with Matt, because then afterwards, like, he's talking to the guy, he's talking to Hector in his cell, and he's just like, hey man, you got it. No, he's telling Hector, he's like, you got to do this, and I just wanted to be like, dude, fuck you, man, fuck you, Matt. Oh, well, it's because of me, and but Matt Murdock is kind of a selfish dickhead, dude, kind of.
Yeah,
and
that is a character trait, like that is with the comics.
Yep. But it made me mad. And then when fucking White Tiger gets blown away at the end of the fucking...
Holy shit. You want to talk about a gut punch?
Something was wrong when he was... The way that they were shooting it and the way that
they were telegraphing it.
Right.
Sure.
Like something was wrong. But then when he came out to the street, and I swear he heard like 3 different screams, and he was trying to figure out which way to go first.
Yeah.
Didn't it?
Kinda.
And then he just started going straight ahead, and that's when the guy walked up and boom. But it looked like he was confused. Like, what do I do first? And it was like, that's weird.
Mm-hmm.
But he had his amulet and his fucking suit, so...
It might fucking outed him.
Matt
outed him. Well, and...
but he had the Punisher sigil, so... Now...
I like this. I like this a lot. Okay,
let's
so
get into
this. With this.
Because we've seen tattoos on cops and criminals.
Of the
and
logo
criminals. Right? And we've seen graffiti. So what is going on with the Punisher cult or whatever?
So clearly those Punisher guys are like, they're the ones that are backing Kingpin and working with Kingpin. Like, that's his hit squad.
And clearly...
And they were already like fucking...
Frank's not into it.
Back the blue Punisher types.
Sure.
And just like in the comic books, Frank fucking hates cops and hates that. And I'm sure, and I'm so happy that the show is gonna be like, fuck it, we'll deal with it, and we'll address this. Which it's only gonna come to a head with this little hit squad that has this Punisher, and he's gonna go to Frank and be like, help me, these are people, because they keep wearing, I keep finding these logos. People keep seeing them. What's going on? And then so I'm not. Maybe it's because I think this is like 9 episodes.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if like maybe not until episode 5 we see Frank, because I think Frank is going to be like, he's going to be like season 2 and be a big part of this.
We talked about this a little bit before the show even started,
because they're telegraphing him a lot in this episode.
I said I think that moment where he like does whatever and it looks like he's bringing the axe down on Matt. I feel like that's going to be the end of season 1. And then season 2 is going to be Frank-centric.
Really? You don't think they're going to do anything?
We talked about this
later.
before the show came on. I said, because there's a very, very famous part in the preview where he's like, Frank, it's Matt. And he does the thing anyway, right?
Yeah.
He's a moment of recognition. I feel like that's going to be the end of season 1. I don't think we're going to see Frank
be a
for
bigger
a while.
part of this.
The only reason I think I'm
only
wrong
because of the
is
hit
because
squad being
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, John Bernthal is in the credits. Is he not? Every episode, I skipped through the credits. This fucking credits opening scene is nowhere near as cool as the Netflix.
Wow,
sorry. It's not.
Yeah, I mean, nothing will beat the original.
No, but and there's elements of. There's elements of both. You start off, I feel like every episode of Daredevil throughout the entire run from season 1 Netflix on to now, you have to have good drama, some good, kind of like, not maybe a twist, but sort of a whoa moment. And then you have to have a fight. You have to have a set piece.
Or at least something big to set up the next, episode and so on and so forth.
And this one was mostly courtroom.
Yeah,
did they have a fight scene in this one? I don't think there was.
I can't remember. I don't think there was either. But
the closest one was when they were chasing the cherry down, I think.
Yeah, and then that brief scene at the end when White Tiger gets shot.
Yeah.
This one definitely felt most like the Netflix show. I felt like of the 3 episodes we've had so far, I feel like the closest ties to season 1 and 2 in this episode. And I think we're gonna get a little bit more of that before we get him in the suit. I don't think they're gonna waste. I don't think they're gonna.
I think we're building up to the end of this season. Is when we're gonna see him. I really do. I think they're gonna tease us all the way to the end of this first season.
Yeah,
I really do, because they already have both seasons done. They just split them up into. Remember, it was supposed to be 18.
Yeah,
and they were like, "Fuck that!" So they basically split it up into 2 seasons. So I think it's 9 and 9, if I'm not mistaken.
It's like, I think I lost.
So we'll have
like
9
17 instead of 18 now.
Yeah, we'll have 9 now through the end of May.
I don't know, man. Something like that.
April, May-ish, and then we'll probably get the other one a year later or later this year. I don't know.
No, there's only 6 left.
I'm saying there's a season 2, which is but that's already done.
I don't think they're gonna spend that much time though.
Huh?
I think they've already told that story so many times that they need to just get him in the suit. So I'm on the different side of it. I think we're gonna see Frank involved more, and I think this is gonna go back more to those roots, and
I guess,
and have a little bit more of that, and have him back in the suit. I could be totally wrong. I have no idea.
I think you're always wrong, but that's just me.
But yeah, it is funny though that it just shows you as Fisk is still a petty little bitch, and it's amazing.
Yeah,
and I love it.
Yeah,
the fact that he saw that and was just like, "Fuck Matt, I'm gonna get this guy." Like literally had the man killed because he was just like, "Fuck Matt." And the funny thing is you're going to see, like what you were talking about, Matt is not likable by the end of this episode. He's probably going to even be not even more likable after this next episode, because he's going to go into the classic Catholic guilt, Matt, where he can't, because, and in all honesty, it kind of is his fault, because he made this guy a target by outing him in a courtroom in a very public case about a potential cop killer.
Yeah. Also, let's give Matt a little leeway. You wear a giant bright white suit at night,
but it's the White Tiger.
Yeah. Also, after what happened in the courtroom, he made it very clear to you can't do this ever again. Now, that's not to say
that's true.
That's not to say that they wouldn't have tracked him down in his normal attire and killed him. However, putting and who's not to say that he put it on because he knew he was going to get killed anyway, and he said, "I'm going out as the White Tiger," which makes it really hard for me to believe that he was taken down by a guy walking by. Just a guy walking by with a gun, right?
Yeah, it was kind of strange.
You got all these powers and shit, but yet a guy, like, you didn't notice the guy coming.
Yeah, but he isn't bulletproof.
I don't know. Whatever. I don't know. Also, if you're wearing a mask, your peripherals are probably pretty fucked. So maybe that's an issue. But it's too late. You're dead.
Well,
let's be real.
R.I.P. White Tiger.
We hardly do ye. I love you, man. I fucking love. Can I just say this? One of the there are moments when Wow, that was really shitty. There are moments when shit.
It was like you're going up a mountain.
There are moments when they just get it right as far as like sound design and
oh god, that gunshot is so loud.
and whatever and music and effects and all this. You have the big gunshot.
Ooh.
You hit to the things, and guess what you hear in the background? The koki.
Yeah.
The little frogs.
Yeah.
Nothing
They
but
singing,
the night
yeah.
in Puerto Rico, and it's like,
That was a huge gut punch.
right?
Huge. gut punch.
But the music, but I
Yeah,
mean
yeah.
that. It's
Yeah,
almost,
and the fact that the whole
it's
I watched
almost
the whole
silent.
credits.
Yeah, me
because
too.
I didn't know if
You
there was gonna be
couldn't
like
turn
a
it off.
tease for next episode. Or
I
something.
just couldn't turn it off. It was just so compelling to just listen
Damn.
to these fucking
Yeah,
trees and these frogs.
It's actually really nice. I don't know what everybody's complaining about. If that's what it really sounds like, it sounds nice. The
Yeah,
frogs
what, right?
singing like that.
I mean, to
Be
be honest,
outside more, nerds.
to be honest, I've lived in places where there's shitloads of crickets and you know whatever, all sorts of loud insects and whatnot. Man, that would be cool if they were frogs. I don't care.
I just like being outside.
I want to live in a small shack on an island for the rest of my life.
I don't want to be a cult leader, but I want to.
I'm not saying I want to. Hey, where's the?
Excuse me.
Where's the?
Am I the Messiah? I don't know. I could be. I'm not ruling it out.
But I'm gonna start a cult.
No, I would have like a not like a compound, but like I wish I could get like. The dream would be to have a piece of land where all my friends and family could live, like separate houses and everything. We're not like in a fucking well, maybe we could. You know what? We're commune. We're a communist family, and then just do it.
Okay, so
Bleh.
we have to
All
we
I'm
have to
saying.
pause because Jake was hit with a neuro ray by the CIA. We forgot that if you mention a certain economic
Sloppy.
It
philosophy
was really sloppy on our part.
slash political government style of government.
You know what? I've read a lot of books.
I could write a book about what you don't know.
Did you read that book?
No, but I read a book
The
called.
book he wrote about.
I read a book called Daredevil, Born Again. It's actually a TV show watching on Disney Plus. This is what we're talking about.
I'm not talking about it. Didn't we go
Well,
through? I mean,
Well, no, but I'm just saying, like, looking ahead, what do you think is going to happen in episode 4?
I don't know. I just know that I mean the show's been good so far. I hope they're not trying to reinvent the wheel.
I wish they
'cause
would bring Karen back, because Foggy and Karen were big emotional heart to this show. And
yeah, it's different without them, isn't
it's
it?
different when it's just Matt on a collision
If
course
you
with
had
Fisk.
if you had the psychiatrist lady like taking the part of that,
Well, yeah,
but she's not. She's trying to. What they're using her character for is a bridge, is an unintentional and unknown bridge between.
Fisk and Matt.
Wow. Do you see this?
Yeah, between Fisk.
Wow.
Stop. Focus.
Between Fisk and Murdoch. Jesus.
Jesus.
That's some dust bunny.
I was gonna say,
Um,
Jesus Christ himself walk in here.
Fucking wow.
Hey, you're not supposed to be here for a month.
Yeah, man.
Easter's next month.
Yeah, dude. But yeah, that's how they're kind of using her is
Yeah.
that kind of unintentional bridge,
Yeah, and
unknown.
there's gonna be some sort of.
We
you know-
we could see it from a mile away.
I read
Mile away.
Daredevil comics.
Yeah, me too.
She's gonna die.
Yeah, probably.
Kingpin's gonna fucking kill her.
Probably.
Matt might
or Kingpin's
Vanessa-
wife. Kingpin's wife.
Vanessa's gonna die in collateral damage, and then he's
Yeah.
gonna kill the psychiatrist. Like I know.
Yeah, that they're gonna fight each other in a steel cage.
Wow.
That's like
So yeah, I
wrestling
mean, like,
announcer.
I don't want to say we're going through the motions, but
yeah, man. It's not bad. I'm enjoying the show, but that's what I mean. Like, Fisk has to die or something has to happen where, like we were saying at the beginning of this review, at some point, narratively, you have to understand this cannot work like a comic book because it's not.
no.
It's an adaptation,
Mhm.
and it's great to have reoccurring villains, and it's important to have reoccurring villains when you can, but at some point, you're going to have to kill Kingpin.
Well, look,
Because there's no way he can keep doing this.
whether you
right?
whether you like it or not,
Am I crazy?
Whether you like it or not, they could have had something in fucking New World or Brave New World. They could have had something referring to Kingpin being the whatever of New York, right? They could have. They could have some reference. I don't even think there's any reference to the Red Hulk. We don't know where it is on the timeline. We talked about this last week, and I don't want to fucking piss on this show because
I do enjoy it.
I do too, and I'm gonna watch it, and it's not gonna make me sad. You know, I'm not gonna poop, but you gotta ask, what are we doing? What are we fucking doing? Are we Daredevil in the MCU finally? Okay, prove it. I hate to be like that, but prove it. Show me fucking Spider-Man or somebody, or show me Hawkeye. You're like, well, Fisk was in Hawkeye and he was in Echo. I don't give a shit.
It's also important to know, I don't know, I'm imagining this is going to be post-Born Again. Yeah, I think so, timeline-wise. But also keep in mind, John Barathol is getting a Punisher, like, one-shot, essentially, like a special presentation.
Okay.
So I'm wondering. So that's what I mean. Like, I feel like Punisher's going to be more involved. I want to. To me, the stuff that I really liked about that Netflix show, I know Bullseye's going to play a role at some point. Maybe not even until the next season, but I really liked Frank Castle. I've always loved the rivalry between Punisher and Daredevil, and the opposition between Frank and Matt.
Yeah,
and especially with John Bernthal killing it like he did in season 2 and in his own show and, you know, with Charlie Cox. So I can also see what you mean where, like, he doesn't show up until, like, the very end of the season, but I think he might be a bigger part of this. I don't know, but
I'm enjoying the ride. I don't really want to look that far under the surface because I know if I do,
you're going to overthink it.
Well, I know if I do, it's going to make me disappointed.
WandaVision is what it's going to be. It's going to be WandaVision. We're going to overhype things.
We got to remember
things.
that not every single book that's put out by, like, say, DC or Marvel every month is a fucking bona fide winner.
Yeah.
And fuck sales. I'm talking about a good comic book.
A good story.
Yes. We know that. So we should stop thinking that every single... Excuse me. God damn it. We should stop thinking that every single project coming out of the MCU is going to be a hit or is going to be a blockbuster or whatever. Now, if they're spending the money, then yeah, they got to recoup their shit. That's how capitalism fucking works. Which is dumb, by the way. About this 1,000th time we've said that on the show.
Yeah, come on, man. Just
finish it. Finish it.
But yeah, I mean, what do we? I don't know. Just enjoy the ride. We'll enjoy the ride. But when we start kind of picking it apart, it's like, wow, there's not much here. And that's okay. It is. It's because it's still an enjoyable show. But again, look, I guess my question is, if you were if you watched season 1, like the first 7 episodes, then you're in a coma. Like somehow you get in a car accident, you're in a coma, and you don't wake up until like yesterday. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing you do is, I gotta watch Daredevil. And you find it and you play it and you don't realize it's Born Again. Right?
Yeah, what a crazy scenario, but keep going.
I'm just saying, if you watched episode 3 of Born Again, and the last Daredevil show you'd watched was like season 1 of the Netflix show, would you even fucking know that it's new? Be honest. Would you know? The guys don't look much different. I mean, D'Onofrio. I mean, I'm just saying, like, what are we doing? What the fuck are we doing?
I want to say something real quick. There was a really nice moment at the end of the episode with Matt and his girlfriend where he brings up Foggy and she says, "This is the first time you've brought him up. I was wondering when you would." And it's actually a nice, like, sweet, subtle moment.
Whatever.
No, I wanted to say so. I want to end with something really nice that I liked about the episode. But it was, just Charlie Cox really having a whole control of this character, and it's just a really nice, silent, subtle moment of Matt having a little bit of that grief lifted off of him, just a little bit.
And to be
kind of nice to
be really honest too, it was nice to see him win the case.
It was nice to see him get a win. and then immediately lose because that's fucking Daredevil. That's Spider-Man. That's all these. You know what I mean? They have to lose because that's the next thing in the story.
Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.